Thank you, Robin, for inviting me today. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the audience in regards to IALEIA, which I am the president of, the International Association of Law Enforcement Intelligence Analysts. I had a quite varied career. I began my career as a Ontario provincial police officer in a small town in northern Ontario in 1981. And from there, my experiences and training took me to 40 miles away to a place called North Bay, Ontario, where I specialized in traffic and was a traffic accident investigator. From there, I ended up joining the regional team, which traveled all over number 12 district, as it was called back then. Then after that, my career presented an opportunity to join anti-rackets, which is a fraud division of the Ontario Provincial Police. And I worked in the North Bay unit where I was partnered with a fellow, Barry Elliott. He and I formed Phone Busters, which was the telemarketing fraud center of Canada. We couldn't quite keep up to all the fraud that was happening in Ontario in the time, brainstormed and came up with some ideas dealing with central sourcing all the information. We put out a general message across Canada to send all their complaints to us. And the two of us, through analyzing the material, were able to quickly source where the problem was coming from. That investigation quickly became a national issue where trying to prosecute all the crimes was impossible. The cost involved is absorbent, and the only way to tactically deal with the situation was to be a proactive organization. By doing that, we elicited strategic partners with Canada Post, courier services, credit card companies, and from there, let's say we were the early warning line for telemarketing fraud in Canada. Later on, the federal government became aware of the enormity of the issue, and they decided to take over the investigative part, and today it's called the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. From there, my career ended up, for the work I had done, on the anti-rackets, I was recruited to go to Toronto to the headquarters of the OPP back in the day in 90 Harbor Street to become a member of the intelligence office and be an intelligence officer and intelligence analyst. And that is pretty much where I spent the rest of my career if I wasn't sparing as a VIP security driver and participating in anywhere I was needed. Many, many types of investigations, and quite an honor to have been asked to have done so many things in my career. I find that the organizations that are recruiting are putting too much emphasis on the degree level of the candidates. I don't think there's enough actual casework prior to an interview. It seems the cutoff in the organizations today require a minimum standard of a master's degree or a PhD. We had PhDs applying for positions within our organization, and they were pretty well rushed through the process and immediately taken. Master's degrees would get you a chair at the interview. Someone who had a high school degree and for whatever reason weren't able to continue on, they're eliminated from the process. I think the challenge is developing exactly what you're saying, is a method to rate, score a level of intelligence. I mean, how do you do that? I don't know. I think this, what we're talking about at the upcoming seminar, is an excellent way to look at the three models that you're proposing. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. In simplistic manner, you're talking about game playing, role playing, but really, what is it? I mean, I remember the days, as you do, when you would play a game of Monopoly. And what did you learn from that? For me, if you played it a second time, you remember the mistakes you made the first time. You try not to make the same mistakes. You try to think further ahead. When you're playing it, in my world, it's called a tactical advantage. When you play it a second time, now you're thinking strategic. Now you're thinking the long term. You bring in all those different things that we use in our world where they overlap: tactical intelligence, strategic intelligence. So those are the types of things that a person would learn in the simulations that are coming up, and how well you do. Well, IALEIA began in 1981, and it had the foresight to realize that there was nothing out there for strategic partnerships and the sharing of information. And the Canadian and American analysts in the day got together and had a little meeting and decided on that day, at that place and that time, that they were going to form an association and share information. And on that same time, the American Risk Network, the Regional Intelligence Sharing service, began as well. And the Risk Network is kind of like our Canadian Intelligence Service Canada. So CISC has partnerships and broken up across Canada, very similar to how the Risk Network began. They too have six centers that they divided across, and which is not really commonly known. Many of the Canadian law enforcement members talk to their risk networks corresponding to their provinces and share information as well. Here in Ontario, I remember talking with McClocklin, which was the Mid Lakes organization, and we would work together and share different ideas on types of software that might be useful in solving large data sets. They were at the forefront before my organization was. The Americans had far more computerized programs in the day than we did. 1981, the need was recognized, and what happened to IALEIA right after 9/11, they wanted to know how they could have missed something like that. What was the role of an analyst? How could analytics help? And why wasn't it there? Well, IALEIA being already in existence and written a few papers and presented them to the U.S. government on global initiatives program, starting analytical units, we were called to produce books and documents dealing with creating analytical units. Everything that we had started in IALEIA was very timely and very useful in combating the many facets of organized crime today. From there, IALEIA developed its own 40-hour training program with partners, and we ended up delivering the program ourselves with real-life analysts. We would send anywhere from 3 to 4 professional subject matter experts in their field to deliver these courses all over. Today, we're delivering them in 3 countries in the Caribbean. The fundamentals of the course have not changed that much over 25 years of delivering it. We are currently rewriting the FIAT course, Foundations of Intelligence Analyst Training, it's called, and hope to deliver that shortly, the new modules. We have training in leadership. We have training in financial, that leadership of analytical units, and financial analysis. We're looking towards having chapters. We have chapters all across North America, Jamaica, Nigeria. We're in 48 countries right now. We try to expand upon the chapter program by delivering free training to its members. Just the other day, I was on a phone call with the Western Canadian chapter who was delivering a course on a software communications product that downloads large data sets from cell phones. And the instructor was training the people on the use of the software, what types of things to look for, experiences where there were errors involved and how to correct those errors. So again, the membership sharing knowledge, skills and abilities on what works, what doesn't work, best practices. So that's what we do. Exactly. We recognize the value of our younger analysts, our recruits. We offer a mentorship program, and we have a new training division of emerging professionals. That all comes under that exactly what you're talking about. And we offer a reduced membership rate of $25 to become a student associate of IALEIA, and you would have access to that type of training. What we see today, especially in Ontario, I am amazed at some of the colleges and universities that have come so far and recognizing the value of crime analysis, intelligence analysis. The sole program of their degrees is now being recognized by employers. Don't really want to get into mentioning the names of those, but we both know that there are a couple out there that offer very exciting programs
Yeah.
where you graduate, you do a placement in at a police service or a say like a bank, private investigations, any place where there's security involved, they can do a placement and their services are recognized the moment they walk in the door because they come with them with their toolbox ready to go.
Yeah.
And that was never done before. We never had that. You come out of university with a general degree, you were asked some questions, and you were hired and brought in, and then they had to teach you everything. Today, in this province of Ontario, we're very fortunate that we have schools out there that are training people to be intelligence and crime analysts.
Thank you very much, David.
Well, thank you, Robin, and thank you very much to IAFI for our partnership, and we look forward to many more years together.